And I remember one of the first super mean comments I got on my channel when I did a makeup tutorial was somebody said to me that like, oh girl, you got to do something with them brows. And that was how they wrote the comment. It was do something with them brows. And I was like, you know, these are the brows that I'm stuck with after plucking in the 90s. I'm trying to look like Kate Moss in a Calvin Klein ad with no eyebrows, or like the way Gwen Stefani would wear her eyebrows. That's what I was doing. And we're left with thinner brows in our old age. That's just the reality of the situation. And that was it. And I went like this, and I zipped it up, and my eyelash curler is in there, you guys. Zipped it up. That's what I did. Shoved it all in there, called it a day. And that's what I took with me on my vacay. Isn't that fun, you guys? You don't have to take everything. You don't have to take the kitchen sink. You can make this simple. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jennifer. I'm so happy to have you here. Today, we're going to do a fun one, just a little chat and a little makeup lesson. This is my simplified, super easy vacation makeup look. And I say vacation, super easy. You can do it any time of the year. Most of us just really want to look simply beautiful and polished. Not a lot of stuff on our face. We want an easy, pared down routine. And I have found that too, especially as I'm getting older. I am now 51. And the older that I get, even though I really love makeup and I love skincare, I love beauty. I mean, I'm a licensed esthetician, for goodness sake. I love all that. But I hate spending all of this time on makeup and skincare. I just like to have a really pared down, really great routine that I know works and not have it take a lot of time, but I still want to look that I've taken a lot of time. Yes, I know I am very demanding, but that's just what I expect from my products. I want things that do double duty, that are easy, that are just made for mature skin like mine. And so if you are over 40 and you love natural beauty, you like to have glowing skin, you want to look effortlessly polished without taking a lot of time, you don't want to look like that 20-year-old that works at your local Sephora or Ulta that looks like they've been fire hosed with foundation makeup, then this is the channel for you. This is the tutorial for you. And what I'm going to show you today is what I took on my family vacation to Utah this past week. We went to Moab. We were rafting on the Colorado River. We were doing a lot of fun stuff. I'm not like a really outdoorsy type person. I do that kind of stuff because my husband likes to book that type of stuff and do that stuff with the family. And I'm usually the type of person where I kind of groan a little bit, but once I'm out there on the raft, I'm having fun. But I don't think I did any of this on a rafting day. I pretty much did an SPF lip balm and my sunscreen. But on all the other days when I had to just get ready quick and I wanted to look nice, this is what I did. So it's been a lot going on in my house right now. We are about a month out from an overseas move. We are moving to Germany as a family for a while for my husband's job. And it's a lot to uproot an entire household. So I'm in the thick of that right now. That's kind of why I wanted to just relax and do this really chill video with you guys. When I do my premieres in the chat, quite a few of you were asking for an updated makeup video, an updated skincare video. So I just wanted to have some fun with makeup with you today because there's a lot going on. These are some of my staples and my favorites. Like I said, I'm 51 and I have been a fan of the Trish McEvoy makeup line for a really, really long time, at least 20 good years. And what drew me to her makeup line specifically was her makeup planners. Now, the makeup that I'm going to show you today isn't Trish McEvoy. I've shown you some Trish McEvoy products in other videos and they are also linked in my Shop My Store. But what I wanted to show you today is something that really appeals to my makeup minimalist aesthetic. And it's really funny because if you went in my bathroom, in my drawers and in my linen closet where I keep all my makeup in my bathroom, you would look and say, okay, you have a problem. And I'm constantly paring down my makeup and trying to hunt for really good formulas and simplistic type of multitasking products that I can show you guys. I do indeed have a problem, but I like the idea of being a makeup minimalist and trying to slim everything down to a capsule wardrobe, so to speak. And I love doing that, especially when I travel. And Trish McEvoy makes these things called makeup planners. Now, this one specifically is a large size, and I looked on her website and I didn't see a large. I only saw the medium and the mini sizes, which is a little unfortunate because I love this thing. This one is the one I use at home where I put my makeup products that I use on the daily in here so that I can just reach for this thing and it's so easy to just get my makeup done. Now, what makes these planners so cool is they all come with these little mesh pouches, and I put, you know, a bunch of stuff in there. But what I like about her planners is what you'll see is a 3-ring binder, and I'll show you what that is used for in just a second. But there's these little pockets where you can keep your makeup brushes. I put all my eye brushes and some of my face brushes in there as well, but the face brushes I've got here in front of me, so they're not in here right now. But the thing that's cool is this is a 3-ring binder format, and what Trish does is she makes these things called planner pages. And what you do is you put the little magnetic tins of all your makeup, your blush, your eyeshadow, your bronzer, all that stuff, your powders, and you put it on the page when you travel, so that, you know, the page is in there. You take your little mesh bag, you put it in, you zip it up, and you're ready to go. And the size that I used when I was on vacay was her medium size planner, and I love this color. It's like a beautiful kind of like a hot pinkish color, and this is the one that I used. So if you open it up, if I can open it up, so the little mesh pouch that you can put all your little things, like, you know, your eyelash curler, your mascara, your pencils, things that you can't really put on a planner page. But this is what the planner pages look like. So they're magnetic with a little mirror, and you just stick your tins. And there's a lot of makeup brands out there now. It doesn't even necessarily have to be Trish McEvoy. For example, I've shown you guys my Saint makeup that I really love, and I'll link my see-through mature Saint makeup tutorial somewhere here for you. But those are magnetic tins as well. So a lot of times I'll pop in some of my Saint stuff in here. And so you've got your page, and then you've got your little pocket here for your travel mini makeup brushes and your pencils and things like that. But it's very, very compact, and it's so easy to travel with. And you do have to pare down. You kind of have to be a little stern with yourself and choose multitasking makeup products like what I'm going to show you. But yeah, so that's what I traveled with. This is so fun. As I bang my head. And then this little baby is called the Mini, and the Trish McEvoy Mini I really like because this is the little jobby that I keep in my purse at all times. And I've got my compact in there. I've got my favorite lipsticks that I'm in love with right now. Lipstick pencil. For example, here's like a little mini It Cosmetics baby makeup brush that I stick in there. So this one is in my purse. So when I need to touch up, or I just need to reach for my lipstick or my compact, it's all really pretty just in this little mini planner. How cute are those? So I will try to link those in my Shop My Store for you. Totally optional, just a fun thing that I wanted to show you that I love, that I traveled with. I'm going to be showing you the products that I'm using currently. If it is an optional product, if it is something that is a nice to have but not a need to have, I'll definitely tell you. I've found that as I've gotten older, it's all about simplicity, but I want to look like I spent time even though I didn't. Yes, I am very demanding of my makeup, of my skincare. I want it to be effective. I want it to be simple. I want it to be elegant, yet I want it to not take a lot of time. Just ain't got time for that. Who has time for that? So let's get started on what I am going to show you today. So the first thing that I did, which I did off camera, but I'm going to show you the product. I have shown you guys this in so many of my videos, but it is because it is a good one. I love this makeup primer / sunscreen for the face. It's from Naked Sundays. It's their SPF 50 Collagen Glow, and it's a 100% mineral sunscreen, which I love. If you have sensitive skin, you need to be on the lookout for mineral-based sunscreens. And they're usually zinc or titanium based, but don't be scared and think back to your childhood or your teen years when you're thinking of zinc being really, really thick and really, really opaque. The mineral sunscreens on the market today, they're getting better every single year. And what I really like about this sunscreen is that it reminds me of those e.l.f. putty primers that are popular, that are really good as a makeup priming base for filling in pores and smoothing out lines and wrinkles and things. And it feels like that. It feels like a makeup primer, but it's also a moisturizing, hydrating sunscreen. So it's almost like triple duty. It's your moisturizer, it's your SPF, and it's also a really great base for makeup. Now, I will say the consistency of this, and let me show it to you on my finger here. The consistency is pretty thick. I don't want you to get a sunscreen like this and think, what the heck is Jennifer recommending to me? This thing is like paste. It is pretty thick. But the cool thing about this one is once you work it in and warm it up, it really does dry down beautifully and it really does hydrate. Even at 51, I'm a normal combination skin type, so I can get away with just this one multitasking product and feel hydrated and protected and have a nice base for my makeup to grip to and feel like I don't need anything else. Now, I will say if you are dry to very dry, you may need a little bit more than just this product. You may need more than any type of moisturizing sunscreen. Sunscreens out there that say, oh, we're a hydrator slash sunscreen, but oftentimes it's still not enough for a very dry skin. So if you are a very dry skin, or if you're even like a normal to dry and you find yourself feeling a little parched midday, I would say either use a really nice moisturizing serum underneath or a lightweight cream to give your skin the hydration that it needs. Because oftentimes dry skin can be really dry and dehydrated in the height of summer, just like you can be in the winter time. Our skin gets really dry in summer, and you don't necessarily think dry skin summer, but it's true because you got the hot beating sun depending on where you're living. You've got air conditioning being pumped inside all the time everywhere you go. It takes a toll on our skin. So you have to moisturize, you have to hydrate. Speaking of that, let me take a quick drink because I am just talking a mile a minute here. You always want to hydrate with your water. That's my electrolyte water that I'm drinking right now. So I'm all about hydration. So that was the first step. You want to prep your skin with whatever skincare you're doing, your SPF, your primer, all that. I've also been asked, what is the order in which you prep your skin for makeup? Now, it depends again on what your skin type is like. For me, as a normal combination skin type, I can use a 3-in-1 type of product like this and be fine. Many people like to use an SPF and then a makeup primer on top of that, especially if they really love the makeup primer that they're using. I feel like the majority of makeup primers out there are an optional product. They are not needed. You don't need a makeup primer if your skin is prepped properly with the right type of skincare for your skin. Makeup primer, it's really a product just to be marketed as another thing that you need, but you don't need it. It's definitely optional. But if there's a makeup primer that you love that really does help your makeup stay and look beautiful, fine. But most of the concealers and foundations and things on the market now, they contain wonderful, soft, silky silicones. Most of them do, which act as blurring effect on the skin anyway, in addition to the pigment and the coverage. So you really don't need it. I would say if you're having problems with your makeup slipping and sliding, if you're super oily, just adjust your formulas, adjust your skincare so that it's not as emollient, so that the makeup's not going to slide all over. And if you're drier, just use more emollient formulas so that your makeup isn't being, sucked up by your skin if your skin's drier. So that's just my take on primers. There are a lot of really nice highlight products out there, and I'm going to show you one that I really love. It's not really a primer though, it's more of a soft focus effect type product that you can layer, and then you don't even have to use as much makeup on top. So the first thing I'm going to show you is 100% optional. Do not feel like you have to do this, but I recently discovered at Target here in the US this brand called MCO Beauty, and this is called the Flawless Glow. Now what this is a dupe for the famous, I think it's called the Hollywood Filter or something. If I mess up the name, I'll correct it here on the screen, but by Charlotte Tilbury, her famous Hollywood Filter Glow product. And that product has really reached cult status. And it's not so much a primer as it is just an illuminator that you can mix with your foundation to give your skin a nice glow without making you look like a disco ball, or you can put it underneath your foundation, and because there's a slight skin tint to it depending on your skin tone, it can eliminate the need for as much foundation. You don't have to use as much. So this product that I found, and apparently Charlotte Tilbury's company is pissed about this company, MCO Beauty, because what they've done is they've taken the iconic look of a lot of her packaging and they have completely duped it. It looks like this product that Charlotte has, and also this looks exactly like her setting spray. So apparently Charlotte Tilbury is not too happy with this company. She's come out on social media several times, basically decrying their existence. I don't know what type of patents or, exclusive rights or privileges she has to her products, but apparently it seems to be completely lawful that these people can dupe the crap out of her stuff. So anywho, this is the MCO Beauty Flawless Glow. It says it instantly smooths, illuminates, and blurs skin to perfection. Again, a completely optional product. And what I did was I took a tiny little travel container and I just decanted a little bit into that container. So what I did with this stuff is I just kind of did a dot all over the face, like this, or dots, I should say. And I just went ahead and just over top my naked Sundays, just worked that in. And it was super lightweight. And what I liked about it was it didn't feel like it added a layer, but it was very glowy. I actually went to an outlet mall while we were in Utah with my family and we were wandering around. And I had a random lady tell me that my skin was really glowy. And at 51, you like to hear that kind of stuff. But yeah, that is it. And I've got a mirror that I'm looking down in here so I can see what I'm doing as I'm talking to you guys. And I'm like so mad because I finally got all of my nails, natural nails, to be the right length, all matched. And then of course, when you're traveling, you're lugging suitcases through an airport, you're doing all this stuff. 3 broke. These 2 broke and then my thumb broke. And I'm like, like, why? I know, first world problems, but okay, what are you gonna do? Again, completely optional, but just look how pretty that is. Just a nice little sheen. And if you were running around doing errands and that's all you really wanted to do on your face, a little bit of lip gloss, mascara, done, that would still look really beautiful. The color that I'm doing, in case you are similar to my coloring, was number 3 light. And if I can link that in my Shop My, I will. If not, if you reside in the US, I'm sure your local Target does have MCO Beauty in their beauty section. And I'm sure if you don't have a Target near you, you can probably shop on their website. So that's the first and optional product. Again, you don't have to do that. So the superstar product of this video that I wanted to show you is a product that I've been using for the last 3 months. So here it is. These products, and this is not sponsored by the way, I just really love these products. And I made a YouTube short about 3 months ago promising that I was going to show you and give you a tutorial and a review. Here they are. This is the Maxine's Revenge. Now these are fantastic concealers and they double as foundation. Now Maxine's Revenge was developed by an industry beauty professional. I have her name here. It is Leah Hunsness, and I'm so sorry if I butchered her name, but she is an absolutely fantastic lady. She has a really fun Instagram. I'm not on Instagram too often. She does these quick tutorials showing you how to use this product, but she worked for Smashbox. She was working in Paris headquarters for Sephora. She's worked for Gucci Beauty, it says here, and she's an industry professional. She's a mature woman. I believe she is in her mid-50s. She's beautiful, and she knows the needs of mature skin. She knows that mature skin has larger pores. We have fine lines and wrinkles. We have pigmentation. We have unevenness. We have thin skin in a lot of areas. Makeup and concealers don't wear on 40 plus skin and above the way that they wear on teenagers and girls in their 20s and 30s. And Leah understands this. She knows this. So she developed this line and it just sold out and went crazy. And I was intrigued because she was marketing it as a stretchy kind of hybrid concealer that can double as a foundation and a bronzer and a highlighter and everything in these little vials of goodness. And this is not sponsored, you guys. It's not a sponsored video. She does sell her product on Amazon, and I will link my Amazon store in case you want to try the product, or you can go direct to her website as well. I don't usually buy into a lot of the hype and stuff that these brands put on their website, but I've worn this product for 3 months, and I have to say that everything that is the write-up on this product on her website jives. It checks out. So she describes this as a hydrating, stretchy concealer meets foundation, and it moves with your facial expressions, moves with your skin throughout the day, and it blurs texture, smooths crepiness under the eyes, melts into the skin without settling, takes care of things like pores, discoloration, dryness, all that stuff. She talks about there's no BS ingredients, no nanoplastics, no fragrance, no alcohol, no essential oils. I love that, especially as an esthetician. I know that the #1 sensitizer for skin across the board is fragrance. Fragrance is the worst. So if you can avoid fragrance in your makeup and skincare, I would say do it. But anyway, I am babbling on and on. So what she talks about on her website is getting 3 colors. Getting one that is like a highlighter, brightener type of color, getting one that is your true to skin foundation match, and then getting something that is anywhere from 2 to 3 shades lighter than your skin tone that you can use as what she calls bronzer, where you're contouring and giving dimension and life to the face by using a little bit of a bronzing color. So on the trip, I just took an all-purpose makeup brush and I took my little blending sponge. This one is from Saint Beauty. Just like a beauty blender or just like any, blender you can find in whatever store or drugstore. So what I like to do with the French Face Concealer is I like to just paint it on and then just marry it all over. And it's a lot easier than it sounds. So this is the lightest shade that I got, which is called Fair Peach. And what I do is I put a little bit just on the top of my cheekbones here. I put a little bit here on the inner corner of my eye, a little bit up on the high planes of my face, and that's all I really do for the light color. Then I take my color that is more my skin tone, my all over coverage, and I just dot it all over. Again, you don't need a whole heck of a lot with this product because it has a lot of pigment, and she calls it a stretchy concealer, meaning a little bit goes a long way. So the brush that I took on my trip that I really liked that was small enough to fit into my planner was the Ray Morris number 24. And what I do is I move the product around like this a little bit just to kind of get it moved on my skin. And then I would just go in with my blender and I would blend it all out. And this brush is really nice because it gets on the eyelids, it gets under the eye, it gets around the nose, and it's a synthetic bristle, so it's really easy to clean. So let me just blend this out now with my blending sponge. So I just like the fat side, you just kind of bounce on your face, but I just do a really light layer all over. And if you've watched my tutorials, you guys know that I am not into 100% full opaque coverage. I have sunspots, I have large pores, I have spots here, sunspot here. I am not into 100% opaque coverage. I feel like that is extremely aging when you have just such thick opaque makeup on. It doesn't look good in my opinion. And then what I'll do is I'll go back and I take my skin color True Tone. This is the light beige. And anywhere where I thought maybe just a tiny little bit of coverage, again, not a lot, just go in. I even do a little bit under the eye there, then just blend it out with my brush and with my blending sponge. I talk a lot in my makeup tutorialing videos, but I mean, when I'm by myself and I'm not talking to you guys, this takes literally 5 minutes. I don't like to put foundation directly on my nose. I take the leftover makeup that is embedded in my sponge or on my brush, and I'll go like that because I feel like you can tell when you have a lot of makeup on your nose. There's nothing more fake looking than having a really thick layer of makeup, especially on the tip of your nose. If you can kind of leave a little bit of light there, it looks so much more natural. So that is basically it for my skin coverage. And again, if you've got pigmentation, if you've got a few spots where you're like, Jennifer, I really want to go back and take care of them because I don't like that age spot or that sunspot or whatever, just do what I do. I just go like this, and whatever's on that applicator there, I just, obviously clean finger, but I just go in and I just dot where I have a little bit of a sunspot or a little bit of an area where I want to give a little bit more coverage to. I am not into heavy full coverage. I'm not into dense coverage. And we can get enlarged pores, especially as we get older, on our T-zone. I'm a normal to combo now. When I was young, I was really, really oily. So that's why you get those enlarged pores. So if you put too much makeup in there, it really does accentuate it. And I don't put a lot of makeup right on my chin. I kind of drag it from the other parts of my face because I find that a lot of us get this orange peel like skin here with these enlarged pores, and too much makeup in there just doesn't really look good. And then I will take it down a little bit onto my neck. And don't forget that you have to use your skincare and SPF on your neck as well. But just take it down a little bit. Now, those are the two colors, the brightener and the facial concealer. So those are the two that I used. This is an optional thing now. Totally optional. If you want to get fun and use a darker bronzy color as your bronzer, as Leah likes to say, this is how you would use it. Now, I have used too much of this in the past and really regretted it because, again, very, very pigmented. A little bit of this product goes a really long way. So what I like to do is I will take a clean makeup palette. I get these off of Amazon. And what I do is I just do a dot like this of the bronzer bronzing color. And the color that I got was called Deep Chestnut. Now, she has since added, I think, almost 10 new shades to her website. So she's really gotten great with her color shades. And she's got a matching tool on there. You see what I'm doing, you guys? I'm just doing a little light application with my finger where the sun would naturally hit me to give me a little bit of that definition and that shading. I go down a little bit on my jawline. So let's just do that for now and see what happens. So here is my blending sponge. And this will warm up and give life to the face. Now, you do not contour with bronzer. People that have been doing makeup for decades, they'll tell you that a true contour has gray in it because it's supposed to mimic shadow. But we're not doing stage makeup here. Most of us are not Kardashians. We're not slicing and dicing our nose and doing all these sharp edges with makeup on the daily. What we want to do is just bring a little bit of life and warmth to the face. I'm going to take a little bit more because you see how subtle that is? If you want a little bit more, take a little bit more because that is what bronzer does. It gives a little light and warmth to the face, makes you look alive. You don't even have to be a blush person to like and use bronzer. And I'll take a little tiny bit and I'll just go like this on the side of my nose here and I will blend all that out. But you see how this just is giving you a relaxed sun-kissed look, and it's very, very subtle. Now, if you like a more bronzed up look, go ahead and use a little bit more. I've even seen in her tutorials where Leah on her Instagram uses her bronzer color on her eyelids as well, just to give her a little bit of definition and contour. And maybe we should do that. That sounds fun. What I think I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to take a little bit of the Fair Peach, the lightest color, and I am going to just do a tiny dot here just on the eyelids and use that as my eyeshadow base, or I should say lid color, where you just kind of clean up and give a little bit of light and brightness on the eyelid. So many of us have veins and discolored eyelids, and we just want to make everything look a little bit more uniform and bright and even. Some women have naturally discolored purplish eyelids and it kind of looks like eyeshadow. See how that just woke everything up? It looks so pretty. And I didn't use a lot, nothing crazy here. And think of it as like a cream eyeshadow. So that was the first color, the Fair Peach. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that same Deep Chestnut shade, and actually I don't even think I'm gonna use more of the concealer. I'm just gonna take what's left on my palette and my eyeshadow brush, and watch this. Just on that lower kind of half of the brow bone there, just a tiny little bit to give my eye some definition. And you don't have to pack eyeshadow if you don't want to, or you don't have to use eyeshadow if you don't want to. And I'll tell you, I use eyeshadow less and less and less. I'm more into really groomed and tailored brows that frame my eyes and make me look awake and open. I'm more into brows and lashes, really, than I am eyeshadow. I just like a little bit of a darker color on my brow bone there to kind of push in and recess the puffiness that I have. And a lot of us are a little puffy. I'm going to do just a little bit more here. And if you can just give yourself a little bit of depth, let me show you what I'm doing. Give yourself a little bit of depth of shadow on your eyes. That will make you look more awake as well. I don't drag the contour color down past around this point because that just drags the eye down after a certain age. These eyebrow hairs are going crazy. I kind of stop there. Do a little bit more here. And did I blend in that little bit of bronze on my nose? I don't know if I did. I'd rather see you going in like this to blend your contour color, whether it's an eyeshadow or a cream, rather than going down like that. Don't do that. And I did not do any deeper color on my lid. I didn't feel the need for it because I feel like when I've got my mascara on and my lashes look really lush and full, I don't really need a darker color on my lid. But let me take my sponge and make sure that I blended that bronzer that I put there on my nose. So pretty. And then the next product I'm going to do is my favorite powder that I just purchased a couple of months ago from Morphe. This is their brightening powder. This is their jumbo bake and set. Very, very finely milled, talc free. And this one's called Brightening Pink. There's 3 shades of this, I believe. I got the brightening pink because it really suits my skin tone. I like to just do a little bit of the powder on my palette, just like this. If you hate the look of powder and you feel like it makes your face look too matte and opaque after you've applied your makeup, just use that damp sponge with a little bit of your powder, like how I had on my palette there, and bounce that on your skin. And that will give you the makeup setting properties that you want from a powder, but it's not going to look like it is heavy and matte. You're still going to feel like your skin has some light and life. And then I usually take the more pointy side of the powder and I just go underneath the eye to take out the creases from the color under there. But that was it for face products. I didn't travel with a foundation bottle. I didn't travel with any of that kind of stuff. I basically just took these 3 Maxine Revenge concealing products, and that's what I used on my trip. Now that my skin is lightly powdered with my damp blending sponge, I'm going to go in with one of my favorite powder blushes. This is the Hourglass blush. This one's called Radiant Magenta. It's their, oh gosh, I cannot read this. It's their lighting blush. What I'm going to do is take a soft synthetic powder brush from Ray Morris. This is her Kabuki. This is her, what is this one? I think it's her number 1. And just really lightly on the tops of my cheekbones, give myself a little bit of light. And if you're really a makeup minimalist, you can get away with just bronzer and be fine. But there is nothing like a blush that suits your skin tone to give you the look of youth and freshness, the way that a really good blush does. What blush is supposed to do is mimic the look of blood flow and life under the skin. And you will find as you get older, I found this as I've gotten older, you just lose a lot of pinky flush in your face and you look sallow and drawn, and that's what blush does. It lifts and brings light to the face. Do not smile and then put blush on, because when you stop smiling, the blush placement is going to be too low. I don't make any kind of face. I just go here on the tops of my cheeks, and that's where I apply my blush. And yeah, I take it out a little bit, and then I even take what's left over on my brush, as you saw me go here along my forehead, not just clown-like on this one little section of your face. So that was basically it for the face. And also what I did on the trip to help ensure that my makeup really stayed all day long was I decanted a little bit of this MCO Beauty Flawless Setting Spray into a little spray bottle and just used that. But this is the actual bottle. This is what it looks like. And I just did a light mist all over. I like to do the mist of the setting spray before I do my mascara, just because I've done mascara first and then blinked and then gotten a bunch of smudge underneath my eye, and no one wants that. The Miracle Flawless is probably anywhere between $10 and $14 at Target or on their website. I love the fact that it is alcohol free. So many makeup setting sprays on the market have alcohol in them, and it's not necessarily a terrible thing, because usually you've got so much skincare that the alcohol just dissipates and evaporates quickly anyway. So we have done the face, we've lightly powdered and put the blush on and set. I did a little bit of the bronzing color on my eyelids as my eyeshadow. And then another step I wanted to show you is, since you are using a cream product on your eyes, you want to make sure that that product stays all day. So what I do is I just take the Morphe powder and I shake it like that to get a little bit on the top here, and whatever is in the lid, I just take it with my eyeshadow brush and I just do a really light little pat on the lid to just lock in that color. And the powder is so light, the powder is so finely milled that it's fine. You don't feel like it takes away from the glowy effect or feels heavy, not at all. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to do my eyebrows, and I have my little eyebrow spoolie here from Essence. What I did on the trip was I wanted to try to find a really good, like a brow mascara that was kind of like a pomade that would give me a little thickness and hold at the same time. I like brow pomade type of products that will add to that thick, kind of brushed up look that's so popular right now. It's a fresh type of look. You don't want pencil thin Disney villain-esque brows. You want brows that are thick and full. And I realize not all of us have thick, full brows. So if you don't have as much hair as I do, you're probably going to want to have a product that's similar to this one. This is my favorite eyebrow pencil, you guys, and it's super cheap. It's from Wet n Wild. I get it at Walmart. I get it at Target. It's called the retractable brow pencil, but I like it because of the way that it's shaped. You can draw angles, lightly feathered angles, and it adds a little bit of heft to your brows. It makes them look thicker than they are. And then there's a little spoolie on the other end that you can just brush into place and soften everything that you've drawn on. So if you don't have as much eyebrow hair as I do, that is an option for you. A really good eyebrow pencil that is inexpensive but very high quality. But what I did was I took the Maybelline Super Fluff Brow product. Now, unfortunately for me, I am in between two shades. This is the, oh my gosh, I cannot read this. This is the soft brown. I'm getting so blind in my old age. This is the soft brown, and this is the medium brown. And I'll always take the applicator out and remove some of the excess on the rim of the product there. But after I brushed the eyebrows up, and when they look a little crazy, a little wonky, then I just go in and I just feather on the color. And you can use the pointed edge of that applicator to deposit a little bit of color on the skin where you might have gaps. Like I have gaps here on the end, but I just add a little bit. And I remember one of the first super mean comments I got on my channel when I did a makeup tutorial was somebody said to me that like, oh girl, you got to do something with them brows. And that was how they wrote the comment. It was like, do something with them brows. And I was like, you know, these are the brows that I'm stuck with after plucking in the 90s, you know, trying to look like Kate Moss in a Calvin Klein ad with no eyebrows, or like the way Gwen Stefani would wear her eyebrows. That's what I was doing. And we're left with thinner brows in our old age. That's just, you know, the reality of the situation. So I'm taking the darker of those two shades, and that's what I'm doing to provide most of the color to the brow. And this is nice because it's holding them in place like a pomade, but it's also adding color and a little bit of thickness as well. This is truly a really wonderful multitasking product. And I take the lighter shade, the soft brown, and I use that here because I find if it's too dark where your brow starts, again, you look a little bit Disney villainish. It's nice to finish and go over it with a little bit of the lighter shade too, because we have variants of color all over. So if you can find two colors that you can use, mix them together. Like how I'm doing, looks way more natural than if it's just one straight color all over. So that's the brows, you guys. And if I get another mean brow comment, oh well, I really don't care. I'm an old lady and these are my brows. And this is what I have. So yeah, I love it. Super Fluff by Maybelline. I think they're about $8 or $9, maybe $10, depending on where you're getting them. But Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so now let's go on to mascara. So I applied an additional light dusting just in my T-zone just because I'm filming. And when you're filming, you can look really glowy. Like you can almost look sweaty. So I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't filming. It would have been fine, but you have to kind of do it for camera work. So I'm gonna take my favorite eyelash curler by Ulta Beauty here, and I have a little antibacterial wipe, and I like to wipe my eyelash curler at least once a week because something that's going near my eyeball, I just want to keep it all nice and hygienic. But let me get my mirror here. And I really love to do just a really light eyelash curl sesh. Start at the root, kind of pump it a little bit. Just be careful. You don't want to pull away from your eyelashes when you're using an eyelash curler. Keep it flush against your eyeball. But eyelash curlers really do help, and they just give a little bit of volume and they thicken up your own lashes. Now this is a product that is optional. You do not have to purchase this, and I thought that it was gimmicky and I'm contradicting myself here because didn't I just give y'all a spiel about how makeup primers are unnecessary and superfluous and you don't really need them and it's kind of gimmicky? Well, here I go showing you guys this L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara Primer. I love this stuff. If you have sparse lashes and if you're over a certain age, you know what I'm talking about. Our eyelashes get thinner as we get older. I really love this product. It goes on white. I don't know if you guys can see that. It goes on white, but it really thickens and bulks up your lashes and prepares them for mascara. And I notice a difference. I think this is about $10 in the States. But you'll see in a second what this voodoo magic potion does to your lashes. So again, you saw me clean off the brush like that and then just apply it. Then you immediately go into your mascara. This is my favorite drugstore mascara. It's from L'Oreal. It's called Lash Paradise, and I love the brown shade. It's a beautiful kind of coffee espresso brown, but it's a shimmering brown. It's the most beautiful brown mascara I've ever tried. It even beats out the brown Dior Show mascara that I loved for years. I found this one and I was like, yay! I will never go back to paying. Oh, great. Have I had a booger this entire time? I hope not. I will never go back to spending $30 on Dior Show brown mascara, which was my holy grail for years because I loved the applicator. I loved the formula. It didn't smudge on me. This one is just as good, if not better. And I love these type of teddy bear applicator brushes. I hate those tiny silicone mascara applicator bristles. I find that they smudge all over on me. It's just terrible. If you have smaller eyes and you feel like you can't tolerate a big applicator brush like this, then just do what I do. And when you take the mascara out, remove excess, because these brushes are superior because they really do separate, fan out, add volume. See the difference? Isn't that nice? I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, let's do this side with the Voluminous Primer Base. Again, just remove a little bit of excess here. Okay. And I know it's funny. Oh, wait. Hello. I didn't curl. I did not curl. Let me curl these babies. Hold on. So it's a little bit more of a procedure when you're older if you want really pretty lashes, but if you don't want to mess with a lot of eyeshadow, 90% of the time, I don't even bother with eyeshadow. I just do a little bit of that brightening and evening out of the eyelid, and I just make sure that my brows are beautiful and polished and thick looking, and that my lashes are voluminous and thick looking. And it's so nice. But see what I do with that primer? Just roll it from the base all the way up to the tips of the lashes there. And it makes a difference, I will say. I resisted buying a mascara primer for a lot of years because I thought it was a gimmick and I thought it was going to make my lashes too thick and heavy and add an unnecessary kind of stiff, gummy layer. doesn't do that. It really does make a difference. And you don't have to wait for the mascara primer to dry. Just go straight into your mascara. Don't wait too long, but you can go back in and give yourself a little bit of a second coat, an extra boost there. But how pretty is this? I'm not really going to bother with eyeliner because I don't feel like I need it. When your brows look good and your lashes look thick and pretty, I don't need it. So I'll try to link these in my Shop My for you. What do you think? Nice. Beautiful. Now, there's a little thing that I do. Again, optional. You do not have to do it. I take a kohl eye pencil, super basic. This is Wet n Wild from Walmart. This is the kohl eyeliner, and this color is, oh gosh, I cannot read this. It's a medium to dark brown eye pencil. Wet n Wild, their kohl eyeliner. This thing lasts forever. It's ginormously big. And what I do, if you're like me and you do not have eyelashes on your bottom lashes, and you want a little bit of a lash look down there, now this is only if you want that. You don't need to do this, but what I do is I will just really lightly draw. See what I'm doing? So that it looks like I have a little bit of lashes down there. See the difference between the two eyes? Completely optional. You don't have to do this. If you have small, closed in, deep set eyes, this might make you feel like your eyes are closed in. You might not like this look, but that's only, I find, usually if you're drawing on the inner rim of the eye. If you keep the pencil and feather it really lightly where you should have hair, you're not going to have that problem. And I really feel like that opens up the eye, in my personal opinion. And I can do this and not even put any eyeliner on the top part of my lash and just be fine. That was like a really 80s thing to do. Remember when we would do that? When we would put eyeliner just on the bottom but not on the top part of our lash. If you want to put a little bit of the liner on the top part of your lash because say your lashes aren't as thick, you can just draw some dots and just lightly connect those dots to make your eyelashes look a little thicker. Because what eyeliner is, you guys, is, I mean, it can be a statement product, and a lot of people like to draw really dramatic eyeliner, like the cat eye look. They like to do all this stuff, and that's beautiful too. Don't get me wrong. If that's you, you do you. But if you're into natural makeup, just know that eyeliner is actually supposed to match your mascara, and it's supposed to give the illusion of a thicker, fuller lash base. It's not supposed to be a product that you see distinct of itself if you're going for a natural look. So that is my eye look, you guys. And when I had my eye closed, I saw that I needed to do just a little bit more of my powder there on my eyelid, just to dry that color that I put there. See, that's gone. That's taken care of. It's really funny when my husband watches me put on eye makeup and how I can just have one eye like this, and he's like, that looks so freaky. I'm like, what's so freaky about it? Looks normal to me. Yeah, but anywho. So let's go ahead and do some lips, shall we? I got these Morphe lip pencils. I showed them to you in one of my other videos. I really love them. They have such a smooth, creamy drag along the lips, and they don't feel hard. They feel like a really expensive lip pencil to me. They're just as good as the Charlotte Tilbury ones or the Makeup by Mario ones that you get in Sephora. The colors that I tried were Foolish and Sugar Pie. Sugar Pie is a rosy nude, and Foolish is a rosy nude, and Sugar Pie is more of like a neutral nude color. And I like to use both. And what I like to do with the brownie kind of skin tone Sugar Pie color is I go underneath my lower lip there to give the illusion of a fuller lip. And I do it a little bit here on the top as well. Okay, I also had a nice lip balm on that has really soaked in nicely now and will make a good base for my pencil and my lipstick. So I did a little bit of that fun shading underneath the lower lip and on top there just to give that thicker, fuller look with the color Sugar Pie from Morphe. And now I'm taking Foolish and I'm just drawing on top of what I did there on the top lip, and then on the bottom I just start coloring it in too. And I've talked about this before, I don't go to the very, very edge of my lip line, and that is because I always, as a 51-year-old woman, get that collection and then it drags down and just looks really ugly. I don't like that. So I stop right there. I stop right there. That's good enough for me. Same thing on top. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing because I need a mirror to see what I'm doing. And then I will go in with my new favorite lip product that I'm excited to show you guys. They're called Lip Velvets. And they are from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, there's a lot of these type of moussey lip velvet products at a lower price point. So if you're not into paying, I think these are about $20, $25. If you're not into paying that, I hear ya, I hear ya. Check out your local drugstore because a lot of these lines now are coming out with these wearable mattes that don't shrivel up and play dead with your lips. Remember the matte lipsticks, the 80s, 90s, early 2000s? You put them on and then you just look like shriveled. Not a good look. I'm gonna do a little bit more of my lip balm. This is the Aquaphor SPF 30 lip sunscreen. I love that one. And this is one of my new favorite colors. This is called Rosy Mauve. It's the Lip Velvets from Anastasia. Isn't that pretty? It's like, ooh. Look how pretty this is. Oh, love it. Very wearable. And not drying. I'll take a little bit. Don't go too far into the corner. I don't need to. But what I like about these lip velvet products from Anastasia, or even similar products, they really do plump up the lip and make the lip look pillowy and cushiony, and it's such a pretty look. Other color that I got with these beautiful lip velvets, the one that I'm wearing is the Rosy Mauve, and then another one that I'm really loving, this one's called Pure Hollywood. It's more of a pinky nude, whereas this one is more of a mauvey nude, but both so beautiful. So that is the finished look, you guys. What do you think? And again, this was my Trish McEvoy beauty planner that I took with me. I didn't even take the planner page this go around. I was just showing it to you so you could see what the system is about. But that's what I did. I took the little mesh pouch here included. I put in my 3 concealer colors from Maxine's Revenge. I put in my lip balm. I had my Hourglass powder blue. I had my 2 mascaras in there. I didn't put this whole Mama Jamma in there. I had a little tiny thing that I decanted the Flawless Glow that I put on before the Maxine's Revenge in here as well. I had my eyelash curler. And then I also had a travel size Morphe powder that I got at Ulta. This was like about that big around. Stuff that in there. And I also had my 2 brow colors. And I zipped it up. I also had a little blender. It was like a little blender pouch that I put my sponge in. And I also had some powder puffs that I like to use sometimes if I'm not using a wet blender on my face. And then what I did was, that was the Ray Morris brush that I showed you. I stuck that in the planner as well. I stuck in my eyeshadow brush like that. Where was that other brush that I was using? Oh yeah, I had my mascara spoolie. I had my 2 lip liners, and you don't have to take 2. You don't have to be a maniac like me. I had my kohl eye pencil, and I had my Ray Morris brush, my all-purpose kabuki brush, and that was it. And I went like this, and I zipped it up, and my eyelash curler is in there, you guys. Zipped it up. Oh, I also had my little makeup palette. Let me wipe it down because it's a little dusty. But that's what I did. Shoved it all in there, called it a day. And that's what I took with me on my vacay. Isn't that fun, you guys? So, you know, it doesn't have to be this particular one. If you like it and you think it's pretty, I just love it. I think it's so pretty and elegant. I will link it for you if I can in my Shop My Store, but get yourself just a small little makeup bag, pare down. You don't have to take everything. You don't have to take the kitchen sink. You can make this simple. This was my makeup for the entire trip. So I hope you guys liked this look. I'm going to be filming a little bit more today. My first chapter of my book about Errol Flynn. I did a video, the introductory video for you, where you meet Errol Flynn, but you meet him and his infamous Mulholland Farm Hollywood home. Think of, okay, everything that the Playboy Mansion personified in the, 60s and 70s and 80s. Before that, there was Errol Flynn and his infamous Mulholland Farm Mansion, where he hosted all kinds of debauchery, all these Hollywood parties. This guy was... He was the original Hollywood heartthrob. He was an action hero. He lived life to the fullest. The man died at age 50. He had the body, the internal organs of an 85-year-old. That's how much hard partying and living that this man did. But he is fascinating. I start the whole series. I encourage you, go watch that video. If you're sick of all this crazy, just Meghan and Harry and other stuff out there, and you just want a little bit of an old Hollywood escape, you're gonna love it. And in that video, I said Earl, not Errol. I said Earl a bunch of times, and people were inflamed by this. They were so mad that I was mispronouncing his name, and I get it. I'm going to address it. I'm going to do my darndest not to say Earl. I will say Errol as much as I can, but you know, a long day of filming and you're on take 27, sometimes it just doesn't roll off the tongue as easy, but I get it. Everyone wants me to say his name correctly, so I will say it correctly. It is Errol Flynn. And to supplement that book, I'm also reading My Wicked, Wicked Ways, his autobiography. This man, oh my gosh. The amount of living this man did before the age of 25, his life prior to entering Hollywood at the age of 25 is more exciting than his life as a movie star. Errol Flynn thought that being a movie star was boring. He really did. This man lived life to the fullest. He was crazy. He was crazy. He was devilishly handsome, but he was crazy. He had 3 wives. It was nuts. It's nuts. So I want you to get into that series. I'm going to film the first 2 chapters later on today. I wanted a makeup look to do it, and this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I have so many new subscribers, so many wonderful people joining me here on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. You are so appreciated. I would not have a channel if it was not for you. So if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe if you haven't. I have a bunch of people who are not subscribed who watch all my videos. So help me out if you can. I would love it if you subscribe. Take care. God bless, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.